Shalom. The Pope recently went to Israel, and one question is, why were Israelis and Jews so disappointed, many Jews so disappointed in his visit? Well, let's take the issues one by one. First of all, in going to the land, which came about after the Holocaust and has so many concentrations of Holocaust survivors, and talking about the Holocaust, he didn't mention the word German or Nazis who carried out the massacre. There was not one word of sharing the grief or of compassion or pain for the 6 million victims. So what's that about? He's supposed to be the Pope. I mean, he is the Pope and supposed to talk about forgiveness all the time and compassion. Here's 6 million murdered people by Germans and Nazis and Eastern Europe. Europe, he didn't say one word about compassion for that. But who did he have compassion for? The Palestinians. He talked about a Palestinian state, which is certainly his right. He decried Israel's separation barrier. Not one word about why Israel was forced to do that, because of suicide bombings, of brutal, violent murderers who wanted to randomly kill Jews. Not one word about why that separation barrier went up, or that it stopped terrorism, or the United States is trying to put up a barrier in the South just to stop immigrants, let alone suicide bombers like Israel had to. Talked about the compassion for the Palestinians injured during the recent Gaza war. Well, what about the Israelis who were shot at by missiles every day since Israel pulled out of Gaza and continually face threats by Iran? What about that? And the fact that the Palestinians and shooting Israelis from Gaza when they went in, they shot their missiles from schools and hospitals and mosques and hid behind the skirts of their women. People analyzing it said no war in the history of warfare has ever been fought with more concern about the safety of civilians than Israel. Nothing about that. So it's understandable that and basically Pope went there, and what he wanted was a land grab. He kept saying, give us this land and this land and this land that we think the Catholic Church has. So he gave speeches, talked about the Holocaust, but they were all carefully nuanced, and it didn't show the Jewish people that any concern for the welfare of the Jewish people, concerned about the Holocaust victims. His concern was for the Palestinians and not for the Israelis who live under constant daily threat from missiles aimed at their civilian populations. That's why Jews were disappointed in the Pope's visit.